All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Dive into Real Estate Investing for Newbies podcast. I have another special guest, Corey Geary. Corey has had some success, actually hadn't been in the business very, very long. So that's why I wanted to get him on the podcast. And a lot of people, you start off and you think you quit and some people don't get things going. But Corey has been crushing it out there in Scottsdale, Arizona. And just welcome to the show, Corey. Appreciate you being here.
Hey, my friend, I appreciate you having me. I'm truly blessed to be here with you today.
Yeah. So Corey, man, tell us how you got into this business. And man, you have had a lot of success in a short amount of time, and you still are doing deals and not just probably teaching, but you're actually still doing deals yourself. So kind of tell us how you got started in real estate.
Absolutely, man. I'll just kind of give you a quick synopsis of my journey. So when I got in the industry, I was a blackjack dealer at the casino, and I was a dealer for about 17 years. It was a good job. It paid well. It was 6 figures a year because you make tips, and it's similar to like being a bartender. And the better you go out there and the better show you put on and for your audience, the more tips you get. So I got real complacent with the job, man. And I just was drifting through life and just partying it up as blackjack dealers do. And I was just drifting. And then there was a day where basically kind of God tapped me on the shoulder and says, you're meant for a lot more. And I'll tell you the story. I was home watching that show, Flip or Flop by Tarek Al Moussa. I think most people in our industry kind of are familiar with that show. And we loved watching the show. My girlfriend at the time, she was a part-time realtor, part-time blackjack dealer, but not, the realtor space, she didn't really do a lot in. And we were watching that show together one night, and she knew I had some money saved up for my job, because I've always been good at saving money. And she's like, hey, why don't you flip a house so I can list it? And I was like, I don't know, why don't I flip a house so you can list it? I'm like, it looks easy enough. These guys are flipping houses in 30 minutes and making $80,000. They made it look so easy. And, it just kind of turned a light on. And the next day I was on my morning run, and I was running around the neighborhood, and I saw one of those signs that said, fix and flip, buy price 250, ARV 350. I can't remember the exact numbers. And I stop on my run and I call the phone number. I was like, man, this is like a sign from God, basically, because we were just talking about this the night before. Call the number. I buy the house. It was from a company called not New Western. It's Net Worth Realty, very similar to New Western. I think you guys probably would know who they are. And I bought the house. It took me 6 months to flip that house, and I made $8,000. So that was my very first real estate deal I ever did. Yeah. Wow. So that was the kind of the introduction to my journey. I bought that house it was the very end of 2016. So we sold the house in 2017, made the $8,000. I went to some RIA events. I networked and met this pretty big guy here locally. His name is Chris Iman. He's a big wholesaler. He also does hard money and all that great stuff. I met him. I bought a house off him. It took me maybe 3 or 4 months. I made $20,000. And then at that point, I was like, well, okay, I think I have this figured out. And yeah, the biggest mistake ever, right? You never think that you know everything. And I didn't have any mentors at the time. I didn't know, I didn't know anything really about the business. And I bought 4 houses all at once, and from that wholesaler. And at that time, we had lost a previous contractor. He was no good anyways. I mean, he took forever to get the jobs done. We got a new contractor. Unfortunately, he saw a mark on our head, and he took us to the cleaners, and we lost on those 4 houses $250,000.
Wow.
So we lost our shirts. And it wasn't just from all the money he took from us, but we had to basically re-wholesale the deals back to the wholesaler. So we lost all our down payment money. We lost all our holding cost money. We lost, and then he stole all the remodel money from us. We didn't do our due diligence on him. We didn't check the ROC. We didn't, I didn't check any previous, clients that he had and see what kind of work he does. He took us to the cleaners, and we weren't following up with them. We were working in the casino, and I was just thinking like, he was doing what he was supposed to do. He was sending us pictures, and he was sending us pictures of other houses. I mean, he took us good, man. And, the main reason for that is because I didn't have a mentor at all at the time. And so it sent me back to zero, and I lost all my previous flip money. I lost my 401k money I pulled at the casino, and I lost my life savings. It set me back to zero, broke. I still had my job. So it wasn't like I was completely down and out, but I was like, man, I don't want to give up.
Right.
I just didn't want to lay down and die, because I knew that was the way that I would definitely lose all that money. And then, nothing would come out of it. So I Googled I went on Google, and I was wondering how wholesalers get deals. And I typed in, how do wholesalers get deals? And this is back in 2018, the beginning of it. And guess who popped up?
Who?
Mr. Sean Terry.
Oh, Sean, I love that guy, man. He's been in it for a minute. I love Sean.
Yeah, so saw his little, Google ad, and I clicked on it. It drove me into the whole Flip to Freedom Academy thing. I bought the course. I think the course at the time that he had was $1,000, like $997. Bought it, taught you how to do bandit signs, taught you how to do direct mail, all your real basic marketing that you do as a wholesaler when you first start out. I did it. Took me about 10 months, and we locked up our first deal, sold it, made $10,000. It's funny, the guy I sold that deal to was the wholesaler I was buying deals from before. So I got to flip the script a little bit.
Right.
And that was my gateway into wholesaling. And then, I really love Sean. So I joined his masterminds. I hired him for coaching and mentorship. And I really went deep down that rabbit hole of how going to direct to seller and acquiring my own deals. So that was my intro way into real estate.